You're watching Cable 2.
Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well, all of you here today. Let me start by saying that our teachers know better than anyone the challenges that go on in a school system, the fourth largest in the state, with 54,000 students, more than 30,000 of whom eat breakfast and lunch with us every day. And so while we have had a little heat in the last few days about decision making, I want people to understand that we have been working ferociously behind the scenes to see if there was any way possible to support our teachers who want to go to Raleigh and have put in leave and gone through the appropriate channels to do so, but also to have school, because a lot is at stake when we don't have school. And after lots of options, looking at options, studying them, trying to see how we could deploy central office, how we could bring community volunteers. Today we have decided that based on what we believe will be the most safe environment for youngsters, that we will call off school on the 16th for students. What does that mean? That means staff who take appropriate leave have that choice on the 16th. It will be a work day. It will be a work day for everyone, because another one of our concerns is that we have operational people who get paid by the hour, and if they don't work, they don't get paid, and we do not want them to miss out on their opportunities to work in this district. So it will be an optional work day for all employees, meaning if you drive a bus, we will have something for you to do on the 16th. If you decide to take leave, you are welcome to take leave and not work, but those who wish to work will have opportunities to do so. We also have been very concerned because May 16th is a huge advanced placement day for us, and our high school principals have met today, and we will offer those tests despite it being an optional teacher work day. We want messaging to be for any student that may have issues with transportation to please contact their high school guidance office. We will work with them to see that they can take their AP exams as well as our IB, International Baccalaureate exams scheduled for that day. We do plan to open a number of feeding sites. We have 32 CEP schools in the district. We aren't sure exactly of those details, so stay tuned, but we will open feeding sites on the 16th, and wherever those are, all age levels can come for lunch. So it won't be restricted to just the children of those schools. It will be open to anyone across the district who would choose to come and eat lunch on the 16th. We also plan to proceed with middle school and high school athletic events that are scheduled. It's playoff season. Some of those we won't know until next week, and we don't want this cancellation to impact kids' ability to participate and move on in playoffs. It will be our recommendation at the May 22nd Board of Education meeting for the board to forgive the stay for students so that there will not be an impact on EOG testing, graduation, those other end of the year issues that statute also has a factor in should we extend the year. I do want to say again a huge thank you to our teachers who have followed the process. As of 4 o'clock today, 1,639 of them were in the system. 1,265 of that is personal leave, and that's our indicator here of the number. But we also appreciate the messaging from both NCAE and FCAE about following the process. Again, our delay has never been not to support, but that of the heart dilemma of what do we do and what the impacts are when we call off school. And so we've been working to try to figure that out as best we can. And so this is the decision. We do want people to know that the 16th is either take leave or work. There's not another option out there. And again, that applies to all employees. And if you all can help us with that messaging, because typically when we have a work day, it's a teacher work day, and the messaging around that to our other staff is that they aren't working, and that will be very different on May 16th. So in any way you can help us with that, we would appreciate it. I will take questions. I want to close by saying one of the things that I work hard at as a professional is trying to always remember what it was like to be a teacher, even though it's been many years since I have been in a classroom. And we have always, despite the delay and despite our saying we were looking at the numbers, been looking for a balance in how do we support our teachers, but also honor our core value of being student-centered in this district. Okay, questions? Oh, you don't have any questions?
Steve WSI 12 News. Was this announcement coming today a result of today being the last day that teachers could file a request for absences to be absent on May 16th?
No, sir. The last day is Friday. So this was a result of, we've been monitoring numbers, but in the background we've been working on, can we do it? Is there any feasible way that we could cover for these folks while they were gone? And I think today we met with principals today. We've tried to involve as many stakeholders in the decision making as possible. And the other part for me was we're a week out, and if we were going not to have school as much time as parents could have to prepare and plan for that was important. That will be different based on the high schools. I let those folks work their magic. The high school principals met today and said that we've actually had AP teachers reach out to us and say, we support this, but we want to be able to give these exams because particularly for seniors, delaying a score could have an impact for them. So our high school principals have all assured us, Career Center as well, that they will work with this and help students. What's my personal stance on? My personal stance is that we support our teachers and we understand the issues that they're fighting for. For me, while they've been generous about resources and facilities, I don't think those needs are as great in the Winston-Salem-Forsyth County School District as is the pay issue. And to me, as recruitment and retention, how do we fill classrooms when we aren't filling graduate colleges of education, that's an issue and it needs to be addressed. I will not be participating because I will be here, but I want our teachers, my goal always is for our teachers to feel that I support them all the time and that I don't necessarily have to go to Raleigh to be a support for them. Folks in this room know I do focus groups with small groups of teachers. I try to listen. I can't make everything perfect, but visiting classrooms and understanding the work is to me a good way for me to show support every day.
Just to be clear, for hourly staff, cafeteria, bus drivers, there will be something for them to do on May 16th.
We have plenty of work to do, absolutely. And so that was part of the decision making here that was difficult because we don't want those folks. We have already forgiven 2 days due to inclement weather, and to go a third can be challenging. So yes, those folks all have now if they want to take leave, they can take leave on the 16th as well as a teacher if they want to take leave. But if they want to work, there will be work for them.
And if some other districts are working with either nonprofits or YMCAs for parents who may not have daycare where they can send their children, do you know of any local groups that are working with them, offering parents to send their children back?
Now that we have a decision, certainly if we can help with that outreach, we will. We just made the decision this afternoon.
The hundreds of jobs that are still currently open in ASOP available for a substitute teacher, is there any way of notifying, are those going to be pulled from the subsystem?
Yes, that's not a concern.
Will the information be on the website so parents will know and the community will know where the children can go to get lunch?
Yes.
And different things?
As soon as we get those up. So as soon as we started this press conference, the messaging went out to parents and staff at the same time. We're here. Thank you, technology allows us to communicate with everybody at the same time. Because we just learned today that the state is allowing reimbursement for meals. So you all, in the school world, you all know that at 58% free and reduced lunch, we rely heavily on the reimbursement. And typically when we don't have a student day, we don't get reimbursement for meals. And we did learn this afternoon that the state is allowing reimbursement because this is being classified as an unexpected closure. So it allows us to open sites. So we don't know exactly where. We said we have 32 CEP sites, and for those of you who don't know, those are 100% free and reduced sites in our district. And much like the summer feeding program where we only open certain sites, but anyone who goes there can participate, that's what we're aiming for. So as soon as we get that up, yes, we'll get it out.
You said 32, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
100? Sorry.
Our 32 CEP sites, yes, ma'am. And I'm not saying that's exactly where they'll be, but that's kind of what we're thinking. They're scattered, and that would create some access geographically.
Will teachers still be charged the $50 to pay for a substitute?
Yeah, that's a good question. Matt's saying no. Okay, thank you. A rescue. That would have been my guess, but I let them manage that.
Anything else you want to add? You got a standing ovation from your teachers. How do they feel?
Good. I'm very emotional about this. I know they know that. I'm very emotional. It's hard, and I know it's hard for them too, and that's why I started the way I did. There's nobody who works with the kids that we work with who doesn't get that missing school is a tough decision to make, and I know it's a tough decision for them, and I just want our community to understand it's tough for all of us. And our delay was not in any way to not support our teachers, but if we could have pulled off, I mean, we literally have thousands of approved volunteers in a volunteer system. We have we've counted heads in the last 2 days. We have over 400 department and central office people we could have deployed. And so we were really looking at, was there some way we could do this? And I think once we heard from principals, we have 17 different languages spoken here, and not anybody can just walk in and communicate with kids. We have, medically fragile students in many of our schools, and there are issues with Bev can't just go into that environment. And so I think when we started to identify what the safety issues could possibly be, it helped us make the decision. And I want to say, I was accused by people who love me on my staff, for making this hard, but I don't think you should just go the easy way. Just because someone else decides to do something doesn't mean that we just need to automatically do it. And while it would have been way harder to have school and try to figure this out, we owed it to ourselves and to our kids to try to figure out if it was possible. And so I will lay my head on the pillow tonight very comfortably knowing that we exercised every option here that we thought we could, and we're trying to do some things on this day that help with some of that. Yes, ma'am.
I heard that sporting events can still happen. I thought a band concert at a PTA meeting.
If you will just have your principal reach out to us, our goal is not to be limiting here. That was the big issue that came up, is that because these are playoff games, there were some high stakes to them. But if you'll just have your principal reach out, we'll try to work with you, Shirley. Thank you all. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for joining us on your school channel, Cable 2.